Okay, so I got the well house all cleaned out, all of the old components removed. This well house was filled with rodent nesting and spider webs and spider nests everywhere. It was a mess. This thing's been neglected for a long time. Anyway, this side of the well house where the well head is, there is a slab poured, and on that slab is etched a date, July 20th, 1992. So, as I suspected, that is when this well was installed. That's over 30 years old. So, this side of the well house actually looks like it was installed later, maybe when the iron filtration system was put in. It does not have a poured slab, rather it's just garden blocks. So I'm not sure, but I likely will end up installing or pouring a slab on that side. The new system that we're going to set up will include a jet pump to pull water from the 2,500 gallon holding tank. That jet pump will then feed the pressure tank, which will then ultimately feed the house and the gardens. So I think in the new setup, I'll probably put the pressure tank here and then put the jet pump here where the old pressure tank was. My iron filtration system is actually going to exist inside the tank. So it looks like I'm going to go with that O system, which is highly rated and very effective at removing iron as well as manganese and other elements. Really produces some pure water. So anyway, back to the main project, which is pulling this existing well pipe out of the well. As I mentioned, it's galvanized pipe. It's over 120 feet of it, very heavy. What I'm going to do is, I took the roof off the old well house and I left the walls on to add more rigidity to the structure. To these two beams here, I'm going to attach these 10-foot 4x4s. So there'll be one attached to this beam, one attached to this beam, and then across the top, I'll attach this 4x4. Leaving the walls up will add pretty solid rigidity to that structure. And then from that top piece that spans the two, I will suspend this 1,000-pound electronic hoist. And the idea is to attach a rope that has a plumber's loop at the bottom that I will wrap around this galvanized pipe, and then with that plumber's loop, with the hoist rather, slowly pull that pipe out of the well. I think it's going to work. I will have safety systems also attached to the pipe. You do not want your pipe to lose its grip and fall back down in the well. That is a disaster. So when I begin the process, which looks like it's going to be tomorrow, I will show you what my safety backup system is. So I'm going to go ahead and build that structure right now, and we'll go from there. Okay, gang, so today's the day. I've got my system set up here. Electric hoist at the top, 1,000-pound hoist. To the hoist, I have attached a rope that's got a 600-pound capacity, a pipe hitch knot attached to the galvanized pipe. Then I have a second pipe hitch knot under that that's attached to this rope, which is attached to the structure as my safety. Should this fail and the pipe falls back into the well, this should catch it. Second, the last safety mechanism that I have is this, which is a pipe vise. And what I intend to do is, when the pipe is pulled up to the point where I need to detach from the next piece, either by, hopefully by wrenching, but if not, by sawing, I have to hold the bottom part of that pipe stationary. So I'll be using this pipe vise to do that. I'll simply wrap this around the bottom of the pipe, tighten it down, and let it set on the wellhead. So that should be sufficient to hold the pipe while I'm working on the detachment. All right, it looks good. Let's hope it works. Okay, so we're on the southern coast of Oregon, and the climate here is very temperate. The ground does not freeze. So there's no pitless in this well, so I have nothing to detach, which is great. This pipe should just pull out without any in-well detachments. Well, this is good news. That galvanized pipe was just, it looks like a 9-inch piece that was sticking out of the top of the wellhead. As I pulled the first part of the pipe out, it's poly. That is awesome news. So this 120 feet is actually poly pipe, polyethylene pipe, not galvanized pipe as I thought it was. So this whole rig has been engineered to pull 120 feet of galvanized, and in fact, I'm only having to pull poly. That should be a continuous run of poly, by the way. So as I pull it up, I'll be able to just keep pulling. There's no disconnection. So that is an awesome surprise. I'm just tickled. This will be a much easier project than anticipated. All right, let's do it. Okay, so I'm down to about maybe 10 more feet to go before this pump comes out. The last 40 feet or so, maybe 50 feet of the pipe is actually submerged in water, and you can see how nasty this thing is. The electric cords, the safety rope, the pipe itself. The iron has just grabbed onto all of this stuff, and over 30 years, it just looks nasty. Anyway, I'm almost there. Like I said, about 10 more feet, and hopefully that pump will be pulled from this well. All right. Voila! That's awesome. All right, guys, so I'm glad to be done with that project. Pulling that submersible well pump turned out to be a lot easier than I expected it to be. I was just tickled that that pipe turned out to be poly pipe and not galvanized, so that really made my day. I measured the pipe after I pulled everything out. Turns out it was only 80 feet of pipe. I was expecting 120 feet, and that's based on the original well installation report, which said that the well was 120 feet deep. But going back and looking at that report, it also said the static level of the water was at 70 feet. So it would make sense that that pump was submersed at 80 feet. Regardless, I'll install the new pump at the same level. The other thing I was surprised to find and delighted was that the brand of the submersible well pump is a Gould's well pump, which is the brand that I bought to replace this pump with. I didn't know that it was a Gould's pump. The control panel did not indicate that. So that pump's been in the well for 30 years and was working when I pulled it out. So I'm really pleased that I went with that brand. So that wraps up the pulling of the old well. The next phase is to begin the installation of our new system, which I mentioned in an earlier video is going to be engineered differently, and we'll get into that in a future video. Thanks for watching today. Please subscribe, smash that like button. We'll see you next time.